Now, let me throw it open for a wider political debate. Joining me on the show, Dr. Shama Mohammed is the national spokesperson of the Congress Party, Tuhin Sinha is the national spokesperson of the BJP, and for a legal perspective, I have Diljit Ahluwalia, a senior advocate in the Supreme Court of India. I want to begin by asking you, Tuhin Sinha, Congress leader Pawan Khera, on social media, he says Enforcement Directorate or CBI, they are like pet agencies. Through them, the government or words to that effect, they'll get the opposition leaders arrested, they will not get bailed in 30 days, and on the 31st day, they will have to resign. And they say it applies to the Prime Minister too. Tell me one minister, he asks, one minister in the past 11 years against whom the ED or the CBI have taken any action in the past 11 years, sir.
Well, good evening, Gaurav. Good evening, everybody. You know, the Congress party, I don't know why, is so scared of facing the law. Because in 2013, when Rahul Gandhi tore apart an affidavit or maybe, a paper replicating the affidavit, he very clearly was against protection being given to Lalu Yadav. Now that, he's contesting elections in Bihar with Lalu Yadav, his stand is completely to the contrary. I heard Manish Tiwari. Manish Tiwari says that morality cannot be imposed. Yes, ideally in an ideal situation, and that is precisely why for the last 75 years morality was not imposed, because those who drafted our constitution never imagined a situation like this would come today. But today it needs to be imposed because for the opposition parties, depravity is a norm. Imagine, where does the need for this law come from? You would recall that last year when there was a plea to remove Arvind Kejriwal as CM when he was in jail, the High Court's observation was very clear that yes, ideally he should go, but there is no such precedent to decide whether his going is mandated by law. And therefore there was a need for such law, even in Senthil Balaji case in Tamil Nadu.
So let's take this one by one. You've raised 2 points.
Laws wherein
Sir, those instances we are playing out on television, you've raised 2 very valid points. Let me get Dr. Shama Mohammed to respond. Shama Mohammed, Amit Shah is talking about upholding constitutional morality and bringing in public trust. No chief minister, no minister or PM, he says, can function from prison. Now, it's not party specific, applies to every minister, every CM, every PM. Why oppose something that the government says or believes will bring constitutional morality in public life, ma'am?
So, Gaurav, there are a couple of things in it. Maybe Tuhin doesn't understand the law. Tuhin doesn't understand constitution, because I can understand the party he comes from. They don't understand anything. You are going to arrest a CM for 30 days. He will throw out opposition CM from states without charge sheet, without bail hearings, without a trial, without a verdict, without a judicial process. Let's understand that. So 30 days, none of these. And you know what? We don't need prosecution anymore, because the prosecution's job will be done by the investigative agency, which will be the arm of the government of the day. So can you imagine, after 40 or 60 days, this particular person has resigned, and then you find out he's been accused of corruption, the CM or the minister. Then you find out that he is innocent. Who is going to compensate for him? Is there anybody going to compensate? Will the person who put him behind bars be punished? Will there be some sort of law for that they be punished also? So this goes against every tenet of a democracy. Basically, Amit Shah wants India to be North Korea and he's Kim Jong-un. That is what he wants, because I fail to understand how it happens. And if you look at ED cases from 2015 to 2025, around 5,994 cases, 0.1% of conviction. 173 opposition leaders, cases against them. How many conviction? 2. He spoke about the tearing by Rahul Gandhi. That is when people are convicted. One other thing I want to remind him, on morality basis, Ashwini Kumar resigned. On morality basis, our former Chief Minister of Maharashtra resigned. On morality basis, Pawan Bansal resigned. On morality basis, which minister, which CM of this party resigned? We remember, let's not forget Vyapam. I
Okay.
will never forget Vyapam. Maybe it's behind, but Vyapam is still there. It's a
Fair enough.
criminal case
For
against
the
Shivraj Singh
benefit, I
Chauhan.
want to bring
He
in,
never
I want to
resigned.
bring
I
in,
want
I
to
want to
know.
bring in Diljit Ahluwalia. So, we'll just, take these points as many as we can. Diljit Ahluwalia, is there merit in the Union Home Minister saying opposition leaders can approach courts of law for direction, for an FIR to be filed against, ruling party ministers should agencies not act against them? Amit Shah says there are multiple instances and examples even from the UPA era.
No, essentially this 103 bill, which has come, Constitution Amendment Bill, this
130.
is
Yes, sir.
this is the one which is directed towards the ED and CBI, because you're not going to have a situation wherein the police of a state is going to go against a ruling minister. That is the first part. The second thing is, although the intent might be uh, laudable, because you cannot have a chief minister running the government from the jail or even a minister doing that. I agree with that. But kindly look at it that this is violative of the basic structure of the Constitution. Article 21 has a presumption of innocence. Now, here in 30 days, the presumption goes for a toss, and before his bail application also is taken up by the trial court, even if it is taken up by the trial court, he has no redress to go to the high court and attempt to get bail from there. 31st day, he's removed. Now, this is no solace that the proviso says the moment you come out of jail, you can come back into your saddle. The question is that where is the safeguard? Look at the way it is worded, that on arrest and detention for a period of 30 consecutive days on allegations of offenses which may be up to 5 years, right? He shall be removed. I mean, on the 31st day, if the chief minister or the prime minister does not give a recommendation, 32nd day, he's out. So I feel that this particular bill, whatever be the intent may be correct. I
Okay.
don't dispute the intent, but the way it is fanned out is violative of the basic structure of the Constitution.
Fair
This will
enough.
not survive
Tuhin Sinha, respond.
50 and all.
Respond. The fact that the opposition is raising and some legal experts are raising, take for example Arvind Kejriwal as an Aam Aadmi Party leader. He says if somebody is falsely implicated in a case, sent to jail and later acquitted, how many years of imprisonment should the minister who falsely had him implicated face?
Gaurav,
No,
these are
isn't this a fair question?
Gaurav,
Where is
these are
accountability
presumptions
on the
similar-
part of the government or the prosecution agency?
Well, Gaurav, Caesar's wife should be above suspicion. The Congress is peddling presumptions, but fact is that similar situations have existed for forever. Amit Shah ji quit the moment summons were issued against him. He was arrested on a Sunday in 2010. He quit as minister on the previous day on Saturday. LK Advani ji had, his name was merely mentioned in the Jain Hawala case diary, and he refused to contest elections till his name was completely cleared. Even Lalu Yadav quit. In the Fordor scam in 1997, Lalu Yadav quit before he was arrested. Hemant Soren quit. So I think, it's the Congress party which wants to set a completely different precedent inspired by Arvind Kejriwal, but this depravity has no place in Indian democracy. And for that matter, I think, they should feel some shame. The Prime Minister has personally insisted that he should equally be included in the, in the
Okay.
ambit of this bill. Compare it with Amendment 39th Constitutional Amendment, where the Prime Minister and President were specifically kept away from judicial scrutiny. So this
Dr. Shama
Congress party
Mohammed-
has no moral authority to, to lecture us, to pontificate on these issues.
Dr. Shama Mohammed, 2 points. Can a chief minister function out of jail? The rights of the chief minister, people are wanting to protect, but what about the rights of the people of this state? Will they not suffer? Can a minister function as minister from jail? Because this law is specific to chief minister, whether in state or in the center, or prime minister. Can they function from jail? And if they cannot be on 30 days, isn't it better somebody steps into that place, somebody else, and the moment they get bail, they can come back? That's the
No,
point
how-
that they're
okay.
raising.
So they don't get bail, correct? One thing. And the joke of the century, not the decade, is the Prime Minister is involved in this. The Prime Minister of this country, as we know, the ED or the CBI is in his pocket. They're his puppets, as if they're going to go after him. Now, the issue here is what happened in Bhima Koregaon. We know the NIA put into the computers of Sudha Bharadwaj, of Varvara Rao, as well as Stan Swami, material which was not there in their computers, and it has been proven by outside agencies.
Outside agencies, not in courts of law in our country. So you have faith in outside agencies alleging something about what's happening in our country.
Okay, so I don't have faith in my CBI. I don't have faith in my NIA. I don't have faith in my ED. I'm being very honest.
You have faith in courts of law.
I have
They don't have faith in
court of
judiciary
law. Yes,
also.
I didn't say court of law. I said an agency investigator. I never said court of law.
No,
I
but
have
let's
full
wait
faith
for a
in my
verdict of the court of the law, because which is this agency outside? What is its background? What are their credentials?
No.
We do not know.
We know for sure how the BJP government, what they did in the Bhima Koregaon case. Let's all understand that. So these were falsified information put into their computers. Now, what we worry,
Says who?
It is.
Anyway, but that's not the main debate today. That's not the main debate. Let's leave that for another time.
The debate is about this government, which, as you know, not a single leader. Very important case is of Ajit Pawar. Ajit Pawar is somebody who the Prime Minister said in a speech in Madhya Pradesh he's corrupt. Devendra Fadnavis has been saying for 5 years he's corrupt. Kirit Somaiya was doing all the investigation. What happened to that particular case?
Can I rebut this, please?
As soon as he
No, but you
joined,
must
then the
respond,
case was
because
closed.
Dr. Shama Mohammed raises a very valid point. The entire opposition is, including the Trinamool Congress, a
Shama Mohammed
long
doesn't
laundry
understand.
list. Anybody who joins the BJP, cases against them are dropped, sir.
No, they are just obfuscating the entire issue. See, we make political allegations, but was there any charge sheet? Was there any FIR against Ajit Pawar?
So why
In fact, the Anti-Corruption Bureau of Maharashtra had exonerated him, of all the charges that he was facing. Please understand, Gaurav, political allegations are different. Political allegations are different from a charge sheet or even an FIR, and the Congress is obfuscating on the issue because the Congress's sympathies lie with the corrupt, the Congress's sympathies lie with the Naxals, and that is why they are obfuscating on this issue. I have a very simple point. There is a very clear demarcation between political allegation and the process of law. A political allegation in the absence of a process of law does not qualify a person to be arrested, or for that matter
I want to bring in Diljit Ahluwalia for a legal point. A quick legal point. Permit me a quick legal point with Diljit Ahluwalia. An FIR, let's say, is registered and it's incorrect. Okay, Dr. Mohammed, you want to quickly complete your point? Dr. Mohammed, quickly.
He said till they are corrupt, we cannot do any cases against them. There should be an investigation. Why did the Prime Minister of India, on a speech in Madhya Pradesh, say Ajit Pawar is corrupt? You're saying there has to be investigation. Okay. Prime Minister
point made. Tuhinsana, quickly before I bring in Mr. Ahluwalia. Tuhinsana, only Tuhinsana now.
No, this is precisely what I'm trying to explain. This is precisely what I'm trying to explain to the Congress party. There is a difference between political allegation and the process of law. We may make a political allegation, but if there is no movement in the process of law, if there is no FIR, if the guilt has not been established, then that person is not guilty. It's as simple as that. Why is the Congress party obfuscating on the entire issue?
Sir, because that's the point the opposition makes. Anybody who joins the BJP, there is no investigation against them. It's never taken to its logical conclusion. That's the point the opposition is making. But I want to quickly come to Diljit Ahluwalia on the legal aspect here. A person is arrested, and a person has to be a minister, whether at the state or the center, chief minister / prime minister. If he or she is arrested, there are courts of law. They will decide on bail. Let's say he does not get bail from lower court, high court, division bench, Supreme Court. And right now, there's a JPC. Can our political leaders not work on bringing in systems of checks and balances and safeguards so that nobody is wrongly confined and not politically hounded through this law, and yet you have clean people and not people running governments from jail, sir.
So there are 2 points. First preliminary point is that earlier the consequences used to accrue as a result of the Representation of People Act, wherein a person, once he was convicted, these consequences used to follow. Today, these consequences are following just after the arrest. 30 days after the arrest, he loses the ministership or
Sir,
chief
does he
minister.
not get bail from courts is the point I was asking. There are so many levels of courts.
Yeah, so when we talk about the ED and you invoke the Prevention of Money Laundering Act, there is a reverse burden. It is for the accused to show that he is not committed the offense. So there's a reverse burden. Now, you know very well that the district judiciary, the norm even today is bail is an exception and jail is a rule. Even then, when a bail application is filed, opportunity is given to the ED or the CBI to file their reply or their counter to that. So this entire process takes at least 2 to 3 weeks for the bail petition to be heard and for the order to come. At times, it even takes 30 days. Even if, let's say, it is fast tracked and it comes within 15 days, it goes to the High Court. High Court will again issue notice and there'll be an opportunity to the other side to file a reply. So you don't even get the second opportunity of testing your case for bail, and you lose your seat, lose your ministership. So this is like turning presumption of innocence on its head, and I really feel that this is violative of the basic structure. This particular
Okay.
bill will be tested in the courts, and this will be quashed.
So, though perhaps let JPC work out systems of safeguards before it goes to a court of law ultimately. But should that happen, I'm sorry I've run out of time on this part of the show because